Hello, welcome to another vlog. Today I'm at Porth Nobla on the west coast of Anglesey. Well, we're getting on towards the tail end of January, and I've only got out once so far this year. My last vlog when I went up the Watkin path in Snowdonia, which was a really nice walk. For the last couple of weeks it's been solid rain, I mean seriously solid rain, and it only stopped about an hour ago, and finally there's a little bit of sunlight and some interesting clouds. So I've just come down to the beach, passing on my way to run some errands, and I thought might as well just come out and have a stroll. Got the camera with me, so whether or not we get anything worth photographing remains to be seen, but come along, let's see what happens. So I think I found an interesting composition. I'm right down here low, shooting straight across that inlet between the two banks of rocks on either side. So the clouds are changing all the time as the rain has moved away, and that's really what's caught my eye for this particular shot. I've got my wide angle lens on and I'm shooting at 15mm. So I don't have to worry too much about depth of field, because the nearest object is about 7 or 8 feet in front of me, and at f14 I'm getting it sharp right through the picture. I've only got a polarizing filter on at the moment to take some of the glare off the water, and of course with the level of contrast I've got here I'm bracketing at 2 stops. So I'm still not finding that much in the way of compositions down at ground level. Frankly, I'm absolutely freezing now. But it's still all about the sky, as I mentioned earlier. It's broken up, there's a bit of blue showing, but there's still loads of really interesting texture in those clouds. So I'm now set up for a portrait shot. F16, ISO 100, bracketing 2 stops, and again I've got rocks either side framing the shot, with the Headland Peninsula in the far distance, probably almost invisible on the photograph, but again lots of really interesting texture in the sky. So as a whole composition, I'm hopeful it'll be reasonably interesting. Well, I've taken some pictures, but just between you and me, it's all a bit of an excuse just to get out and get some fresh air and enjoy places like this. You know, it's one of those things about landscape photography, is that it forces you to get out into the landscape, gets me out the house and gets me out to places like this, and you just never get tired of it. I'm only 5 minutes away, but it is rather pleasant, even with a sharp northerly wind. There's a few nutters over there in the surf. You can't tell me that even in a wetsuit it's not bloody freezing, and there isn't any surf, so I don't know what they're doing. So what I've done now is I've moved up onto the headland, and I'm shooting across to a Bronze Age, I think, burial mound called Bar Clodia de Gaures, and it's right across on the other headland. But what I've done is I've got it framed between some rocks on this side that are about 30 feet in front of me. So I'll just show you how that looks through the camera itself. This shot is very much again about the textures in the sky as these clouds continue to break up and move across. But as you can see, on the horizon line is the burial mound, And what actually caught my eye was the really interesting lichens and texture on these rocks in the foreground that frame it nicely each side. So that's really what I'm going for in this shot. One of the best things about living on Anglesey is there's knocking on for 200 miles of coastline, and it's never the same. This particular beach that I must have walked on hundreds and hundreds of times, it's always changing. The light changes, you never know where the tide's going to be. And when we get the winter storms, it actually makes quite a difference to the profile of the beach itself, chucking boulders around and changing things up constantly. So one of the things that I'm thinking of doing during the course of 2018 is to go around and cover some of the more obscure locations on Anglesey. Lots of photographers do get a chance to come here, and they go to the likes of Llandwyn Island, the church in the sea, the lighthouse at Penmon. Funnily enough, visitors tend not to shoot South Stack Lighthouse that much, but I can tell you that the locals never stop shooting it. But there are dozens and dozens of other interesting locations around the island, and not too far away on the mainland. So I'm going to make a point of covering some of these locations, tell you how to get there, and give you a few pointers. So hopefully you'll find it interesting. So why not subscribe? I'll be probably publishing about once every week to 2 weeks. I'm not making any, it'll be every 6 o'clock every Friday type of promises, but they will be regular. I don't travel very far very often, so it will usually be Anglesey and North Wales, but I hope you'll join me, and I hope you'll find it interesting. So for this vlog, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.